Good morning, everyone. It's Erica here from Me To You Paper Crafts. Welcome to my channel. I have been a paper crafter for well over 30 years. I won't give you the exact number, but I have enjoyed it. I have never purchased, well, I shouldn't say never, but practically not purchased any greeting cards because I've been making all of my own greeting cards. And I used to send out approximately 60 handmade greetings for Christmas time, birthdays, and I still love it. And I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 10 years, and I absolutely love showing and sharing my creations, and I love teaching people how simple it is, really and truly, to create beautiful handmade cards. You get a lot of joy from doing it, and your recipients get a lot of joy from receiving your creations. A handmade card in the mail brings a lot of joy, really and truly does. So today, it's Mojo Monday, but it's really Tuesday today. Yesterday, I was feeling a little under the weather and couldn't get my act together in the morning, but today I am good to go. And today, I'm actually going to veer away a little bit from our current mini catalog and venture back into our annual catalog, which is still in effect, and there's lots of stuff in there that you can choose from. And today I'm picking out one of my favorites that I haven't played with in a long time, and it's mostly because of this one particular die. I'm going to show you some cards that I've been making with it because I've had to send out, create some thank you cards, very special thank you cards to some good friends of mine. And so I wanted to create them from scratch and use this die, and I'm going to show you how it's used, and we're going to actually create another card with another idea. So without further ado, I will turn my camera down so that you can see my desktop and see what I've got here for you. So this is the annual catalog, and I'm looking at pages 34 and 35. The page 35 shows you some samples. So we're looking at this stamp set over here. This is called the Two Tone Flora, and it coordinates with what's called the Two Tone Flora dies. And I'm going to show you those dies, but it's some beautiful two-step stamping where you stamp an outline image in a darker color, and then you do our second generation stamping to create the filler. So you stamp this inside this greeting, and it creates the most beautiful flowers. And you've got lots of different, you've got 3 separate flowers. So this one corresponds with this one, for example. And this one corresponds with this one. And then, no, sorry, I'm doing that wrong. This one corresponds with this one up and down here. These 2 correspond, and then these 2 correspond, and then these 2 correspond, and these 2 correspond. So you've got lots of choices there. And I'll show you how that works as we go along, but I wanted you to focus on the next page here where it actually shows you this absolutely stunning die. This is the die here. And so you cut this out and you create this beautiful lacy filigree. And there's so many things you can do with that. So let me show you some cards that I've been making with that. But first of all, here's the stamp set, Two Tone Flora, and it's got some foliage as well. It's a beautiful floor. If you love flowers, it's a beautiful set. And then this here are some of the dies. So you've got dies that cut out all of the flowers in the set. You've got a beautiful set of small leaves that you can add to all of your flowers here. Then you've got this beautiful flourish here of leaves. Okay, and then you've got, here are the stamps. So they're all photopolymer stamps. You can see I've already used them quite a lot, and I will show you how those work. So while I'm talking about that, let's take, this is one of my favorites, this big flower here. So let's just put this one on a block, and then let's put this one on a block. So you need this outline image and you need the solid image. Okay. And I'm going to do a card today out of these 2 beautiful purples. We've got Highland Heather. This is the lighter color. So you would stamp the filler with the lighter color, and you would stamp the outline in the darker color. Okay. So that's what we're going to do with that. And then I want to show you this die. Now, I've already cut this out. Okay, this is the die here. Okay, this is what the die looks like. And I have basically, to cut the die out, I've basically cut it from a quarter sheet of cardstock because that covers the entire die. So you want to center the die on the cardstock. And the real trick to getting this to cut out really well is to feed it through your machine with the cut side facing up. Normally we have the cut side facing down. Normally we can see the die on top of our cardstock, but with these filigreed dies, or what we call intricate dies, where there's lots of cutting, and it needs a lot of pressure everywhere on the die, not just the outline, but all on the inside. You want to make sure that the die cut side is facing up. And then I would run it through 2 or 3 times, okay? And remember, any die that has a straight edge, you want to make sure you run it through the machine on an angle like that, okay? So I ran this through multiple times. Now, if you're lucky, when you start to peel this off, all of the pieces will fall out, okay? But I am using, this is the die brush that we had previously, so I still have this die brush. Our Take Your Pick tool, you can purchase another tool that screws into the end here, and it's also a die brush. I didn't buy it simply because I still have this one and it works still really, really well. But you can, if you don't have a die brush, then you can purchase the additional tool if you have the Take Your Pick tool. So remember, the Take Your Pick tool has lots of different tools. It comes with this, we often call the pokey tool. And then if you screw this off, you've got the spatula, a very useful tool. I use that a lot for removing layers. If I've put a layer of cardstock on my card base crooked, I can take it off with the help of my heat gun. Then on the other end, you've got this putty tool, okay? And I found the putty inside a little flimsy myself. I had trouble using it. I used all of it. I bought some replacement tips, and then I just decided to stick. This is that tacky, I think it's just called tacky. I don't know what it's called, tacky something, but it's used. I've been using it since high school. Whenever I wanted to put a poster on the wall, I use this tacky stuff. You just kind of roll it in your fingers and flatten it, put it on your poster, and then put it on your wall, and it comes off the wall and doesn't leave a stain or anything. So I just kind of like gummed that up and just stuck it on there, and it works just great. And I use that for removing rhinestones or pearls, okay? So that's your Take Your Pick tool. Plus it comes with a whole bunch of other tools. I bought some of them. This is a very cool tool for making perforations. And it also comes with a scoring tool. So you've got the fat end and the narrow end for scoring. And let's see. And then it came with, let's see. It comes with these are separate tools that you can buy. This is a blade, a sharp blade. Comes with that. And then it also comes with these 2 tools, which to be honest, I haven't used. But one is a much longer pokey tool. Maybe if you still like to do paper piercing. And then you've got this little hook on here. I haven't really used the hook. Yeah, I don't know what I would use that hook for, but you've got a hook. Okay, so that's the Take Your Pick tool. It's not an expensive tool. And then if you buy the additional set, and it's got this protective, you pull it to expose the blade, you see, and then you push it to cover it up because you don't want to cut yourself with that blade. All right. All right, so now I've got the die brush. So what I would typically do, and I don't do it on my silicone mat because the pieces will really stick on there. So I just grab an extra piece of paper. You can still use the foam mat. I don't have my foam mat here. I don't tend to use the foam mat because it's really hard to get the bits off. So I like just to use a piece of paper. Okay. And then I'm going to turn the die over, and I'm just going to brush. I'm going to hold it up a little bit, actually. I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to rub over this to get rid of all the pieces. Okay. So those are all my tips for actually using this die. And don't remove it from the die, because if you're pulling out the pieces, if you find a spot that's particularly resistant to the pieces coming out, you want to be able to put it back in your machine and die cut it again. So this is looking, I did this 4 times through my machine, to be honest. And every machine is calibrated a little bit differently. So your machine may do 2 passes and it cuts out really well. If your machine is really old, you might need a few more passes. Okay, so here, these are all my little bits. And then for the rest of them, I often just use my pokey tool. And I just poke out the rest of them. And there are these little holes that help you remove the whole die, but it usually comes out pretty easily. So I think I've got most of everything out of there. That one's a little bit stubborn. There we go. Okay, so you can have a look around, see if you've missed anything. There's a little piece way up there. Just poke that out, okay? And then you can and there's another one. So now you can just, and there's a couple more. Okay, so let's just peel this off. Just be gentle with it. Look at that. It just peels away very nicely. Oh, there's another big piece that didn't come out. Okay. There you go. Okay, and then before you use it for the next time, just make sure you get all the little bit. Oh boy, it did a pretty good job. I don't see anything left over in there, but just make sure you remove all of the pieces for the next time around. Okay, let's set this aside and then clean up my mess here. I've got little bits everywhere, but I think I showed you my little vacuum cleaner that I bought, so I'll just use that later and clean up my desk, or my lint roller. The lint roller is really good for picking up little bits. All right, let's see who's here today. Judy is here. Good morning. Oh, and Judy, I have to apologize. I did see your note about the envelopes and the dies that I borrowed from you, so I will bring those for the weekend. Hi, Sharon. I got your address. Thank you. I will be sending you a card in the mail. And we used to call that stuff blue tack. I know that it comes in white. Yes, that's exactly what it is, blue tack. It's great, and it works great for the take your pick tool. All right, so there is our die. Look how beautiful. Oh, there's another piece right there. Yeah, you can look at it 3 or 4 times and still find little bits in there. So take your time and have a look at it several times. Okay, so I'm going to show you some cards that I've made with this and different ideas, and then we're going to do a new idea today. All right. Let me just take them out of their envelopes. Okay, let me see. This is the first one that I made. Okay. So this card I made, how I made this one is I took a piece of our bubble bath cardstock and I cut it down to typical layer 4 by 5 1/4. And then what I did was I decided to do a bit of an ombre effect on here. So I took my blending brush with the same color ink, Bubble Bath, and I just started down below and I just gradually went up the cardstock. And then I picked up more color and again rubbed and pushed it up towards the top. I took more ink and kept, so the bottom is a little bit darker than the top. And I just created this ombre effect, pink on pink. Okay, the same color cardstock, same color ink. And then I just did the white layer and then I trimmed it. Now you can see that on a 1/4 sheet of cardstock, you've got quite a large border on here. So you need to trim it down to fit on a card or on another layer. Okay, so that was my first idea. And I did actually do another really, really fine, I don't know if you can see it, really fine, where's my camera? Really fine layer of the smoky gray, smoky slate. So smoky slate, basic gray with the pink. Okay, the greeting is from the postage, the perennial lavender, the postage stamp sets. Those are a whole bunch of greetings. And then and then I punched it out with, I love this heartfelt hexagon die. This corresponds with the heartfelt hexagon stamp set, but it's a great greeting die. So I use that die and I use this greeting, which is I can't thank you enough. Okay, so that's one card, one idea. So again, ombre effect on cardstock. If you wanted a multicolored look, you could do the same thing, just put different colors of ink all the way up, say, a white piece of cardstock. You know, do purples and go into pinks and then go into yellows, and you could kind of make a rainbow effect. And again, just put on the white lace background. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, on this next one that I did, I got the idea of, well, why not put some designer series paper behind it? So this is a basic white card, and then this is designer series paper. So sadly, this is a completely different color on the other side, but this is a pattern, and this paper is from the inked and tiled set. There's beautiful papers in there, and this was Lost Lagoon light and dark, and so it's just got a bunch of leaves on it, and so I put that layer underneath the lace, so you get a bit of a pattern underneath it. And then I did this leaf from this die set again. Here's the stamp right here. So I did that stamp and then cut it out. So this is in Pretty Peacock. And again, I can't thank you enough. And for each of these, I took the same, or I took a corresponding color, and I die cut this out of the colored cardstock and then put it as a background behind the other one. Just offset it a little bit. And I added ribbon to this one. So there's card number 2. And then this one I just made this morning. I took the lace cut out, and then I just used my blending brushes and I just colored all of the different flowers on here. All of the different flowers. Now, I apologize when you see me struggling to find the camera. It's because when I move this, say I'm moving this to the left, and on screen it's moving to the right. So when I look at it on screen, I'm going in the opposite direction, and I don't really know how to flip that. I'm using a piece of software on my camera, and I don't know that I can actually, I think it's called you flip the image, and I don't think I can do it on there. So I apologize. I'm always looking for the camera here. All right. So I just very lightly colored, just lightly with, I used the mini sponge. I bought a set of these mini sponges, and I just kept cleaning my sponge. I just rub it on paper, and then I picked up the next color. So it worked really great. Did the same thing with the dye. I used the Melon Mambo, and the greens in here, when I did the green, it's lemon lime twist, and then I put it on a lemon lime twist card base. Okay, so and then these gems I put on here, different colors. I thought that turned out really pretty with a bit of ribbon. This is retired ribbon, but it's a perfect pink on there. So there's that third card that I made. So those are 3 different ideas. Now today, the next idea is I want to use this as a stencil. I'm really excited. I'm going to just make a purple card, and I've got these 2 colors of ink. Okay, so I'm going to just randomly put color. So I'm going to put card base here. Now, some people like to tape down. You could tape this down. Now, you still want to be really, really careful when you're using your brushes, you don't want to rub too hard because a lot of these pieces, they aren't all sort of attached. So you just want to kind of be careful. And we're going to be trimming this down anyway. But, okay, so I'm going to grab I have a larger brushes too that I kind of dedicate to different color families. So I'm going to start and I'm just going to rub the ink and I'm just going to pound some off. And I'm going to do the whole thing in purple, but I want some patches of light color. And I'm going to do patches of dark color. So I'm just rubbing. I'm actually, you know what? I'm not doing what I want to do here. I'm silly. I'm not doing what I want to do. This is what I want here. I want the outline to come through. So I need to put this on a piece of, another piece of cardstock. So again, this is just a quarter sheet to match the size of this. Yes, Erica, this is what you want to do. Okay, now I'm going to put this down. I missed out that step. Oh, some other people have joined this morning. Let's see. Christine is here. Good morning. The one I did this morning is so pretty. Yes, isn't it gorgeous? I love it. I love how it turned out. I love how it turned out. All right, so let's go back to the technique here. So what I'm doing is I'm using it as a stencil. So I'm just going to put color in here. Now this will actually make two cards, right? We're going to use the negative underneath and then this positive piece on the top we can put on another card. So we'll end up with two cards from this one technique. And you could do any number of colors that you want, like I did on that first card. All right, let's switch up to the darker color. And when you go from light to dark on your inks, you don't have to worry about cleaning this off because you're going from light to dark anyway. So I do want to make sure I cover everything. And if it's not dark enough, you can always add a bit more color. And I'm just blending it out because I want to make sure there's no white left for the top card. Now I'm really hoping this is coming through on the bottom. This is really the technique I wanted to show you. So I'm actually pressing harder than normal to get it to go through to the background. I want to fill in all the holes. It's going to be subtle. You have to be patient with it. Okay, I think I've got it pretty well colored in. I'm just pushing down a bit more. I think I want a bit more dark right here. And a little bit more dark right here. I'm just trying to fill in maybe the centers of the flowers. There we go. I think it's looking okay. All right. Let's see how it worked out. Now, I'm going to take this tape off and I'm going to add some color on there, even though I'm going to trim it. I'll just add a bit of color down there. Okay, and then let's take the top one off. Okay. So there's one card. Look how that turned out. I love it being all one color. How pretty that is. Oh, look at this. Okay, that's a nice, pleasant surprise. Look at that. That worked out great. And this will be fun if you want to do a lot of rhinestones. You could put little rhinestones in some of the flowers here and really give it some sparkle. And speaking of sparkle, you could take this and then add this to a piece of, we've got lots of sparkle papers available right now. As a matter of fact, there's sparkle papers in purples. So you could back this on a piece of the sparkle paper too, which maybe I will do that for this card. But I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. Look at that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Yes, wow, and love the purple. I know, I love the purple. But imagine it in any color. Okay. So now when I trim this, I don't want to use my, I don't want to use my trimmer. So I use a guillotine trimmer for this. I don't want any kind of a pushing just in case the lace picks up somehow. I don't know. I'm just a bit paranoid about using that. So hopefully you have a guillotine trimmer. Okay, because I want to cut this down now. So I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. I'm leaving a bit of a border. I can trim a tiny bit more off the top there. Okay, so there's one. Now this one, you could definitely use your trimmer. So, but I'll just stick with this because I've got it out. And I'm going to not leave a border because I might back this onto a piece of white anyway. So let's just cut this right down. Okay. Okay, now I have a piece of cardstock here. I'm going to use the same color for both. Let me just grab my trimmer. I'm going to cut this in half and make 2 cards. So at this point, you decide whether you want this to be a portrait or landscape and how you want the card to actually open up. So let's go 5.5. And then we're going to score it at 4.25. Okay. So let's give this a burnish. Good morning, Carol Lynn. It's a beautiful morning. Is it warm out there? I haven't been out yet. All right, so there's our 2 card bases. All right, so now your decision is you could layer this just right on top of the card base. You've got a tiny, minuscule little border there, top to bottom in particular, right? So you could do that. Okay, how does that look? Or, oh shoot, did I cut more? Oh, here's a piece. I cannot believe how I've already cut a full ream of paper into 4 by 5.25 inch pieces, the whole thing. I used my Carl cutter and I cut the whole package and they're all gone. I've used them all up already. Of course, I don't remember, where I did that. So I think I could trim this down on the right side just a little bit more. All right, so we could either put it directly on the card like this. Okay, you guys help me with these decision making, okay? So I could put it right on the purple like that, or I could mount it on some white. I'd have to trim my white down. Or I could just put this on a white card base. Let me just grab a piece of white card base and then we'll decide. So let's try it on white. So let's score this at 4 1/4. It really does pop on the white, but I kind of like it on the purple. Just to be, you know, something different. We're always mounting on white, I feel. Was I going to do some glimmer paper behind? Well, I could do that too. And see what that looks like. Okay, so I could just simply mount that right on a white card base like that. Or on the purple. Okay, now let's grab some of the paper. This, I believe, is an online exclusive. You'll only see it online. I hope it's still available. This is called 3-Color Glimmer. And look at that purple. I'll show you the colors in here. I hope it's still available. I haven't even I've opened it, but I haven't used it yet. So you've got this. Okay, why won't it come out of the package? There we go. Look at this purple color. So we've got this glimmer, and I think there's 2 sheets of each. You've got this color, our petal pink color with a bit of green flecks in there. And then you've got, look at this color. Woo! It's pretty peacock. Then you've got those glimmer papers. They're called 3-Color Glimmer. Okay, so we could do this. So let's trim this down. Now, when I trim glimmer, I trim it upside down. I think it's better for your blade to trim it upside down. So let's trim a piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. I hope that's going to work. Maybe I should test it first. Yes, that will work. Now, the only issue, can you see that? I think you can see the glitter in there. Now, the only issue with this is gluing to glitter. Glitter is very difficult to glue to. So what you could do is try and find some strategic spots on this lacy bit, maybe to put some glue dots. But if you hold it down long enough, it should glue with your Tombow glue. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm going to do that. That must be 5 1/4. Let me just see. It's to there. Yeah, 5 1/4. No, it's a little bit longer than 5 1/4, I think. Hang on. I want to measure that. It's 5 1/2. So I'm going to do a 5 1/2 piece. It's the length of the card. And I don't know why my glimmer is curled. I think I had it standing up in a box. Okay, so there's your glimmer. Oh, I guess I could trim it too a little bit. Okay, so you have to help me decide now, ladies. So here are your options again. Your option is the lace, the purple on the purple card base. So purple on purple on white, or purple on glimmer. And then it doesn't matter what card. I think we'll do the purple card base. So let me know what you think. Purple on purple, purple on white, or purple on glimmer? Which one do you think is the prettiest? I'm just going to turn off my iPhone here. So purple on glimmer is Kate Ann's vote. Christus, is there a stencil you are using? Sorry, I missed the beginning. Yeah, the stencil is this one from the Two Tone Flora stamp bundle in the annual catalog. I've kind of gone off book from the mini catalog and I've gone back to the annual catalog just because I came across this the other day. Carolyn, that's a hard decision for me. Well, you'll just have to make 2 or 3 cards then. Purple on white. Purple on white, can't decide between those. Purple on white or glimmer. Purple on glimmer. Purple on glimmer. I think I have 2 votes for purple on glimmer. Love that bundle. Yeah, it's a beautiful bundle. Purple on glimmer. I think I saw 2 votes on purple on glimmer. So we're going to go with that then. Okay. So now one way to glue this, I'm not guessing, I know, is I'm going to take my silicone craft sheet. I'm going to grab a couple of Q-tips here because I don't have any sponges. Okay, I'm going to throw on some glue. And I'm going to try and dab glue. I want to get the edges for sure. And then I'm just going to throw a bit of glue. Just dab it in a variety of places. Okay, hopefully that will work. Okay, I'm just going to grab an old, I have these old silicone sheets here. Oh yeah, I've been using Q-tips for years, Kate. Yeah. And then I just, throw them away. Otherwise, if you use sponges, you got to wash them because they get crusty. The glue dries on them and they get crusty. So you have to wash them up afterwards. So I'm just going to press that down. Okay, I want to show you. So I'm going to just set this aside. I'm going to put this down here. Ooh, that's got glue all over it. Let's put that aside over there. Let's move this over. Here, I'm going to stick my punch on top of it just to give it time to dry. Okay, let's work with this one now. So this is also another decision. So we could do this on the purple. I think it needs another border on here. So I might finish these up later because I have to decide. This might be nice on, I don't know, Night of Navy border maybe. Or again, I could border it with some glimmer. I could put a little glimmer border on there. Yeah, that would be pretty. On there, look at that. Should we do that? You're welcome, Kate. Yeah, I like that a lot. So let's just trim this up. Actually, we'll glue it on here and then we'll trim it up. Sometimes it's really, really hard when there's lots of decisions. Often what I will do is, I've told you this trick before, is that I will sort of like lay out, you know, what I want on the card, and then I take a photograph, and then I do another different layout and take a photograph, and then you can look at the photographs and then make your decision. So I'm going to make this really narrow little border here. The glimmer border is perfect. Okay, good. I've just been having, honest to goodness, I've just been having so much fun with these cards. Here, Krista, I'll show you quickly. So this was the one I made this morning. So I just used my blending brushes and did a whole bunch of colors on there and mounted it on Lemon Lime Twist card base. And then this one is actually mounted on top of a piece of Designer Series paper. Oh, the thing I forgot to tell you guys is that this, I actually cut this lace from the top of the card. So I cut the card base. So I laid it out like this and put the die on top. Actually, I did it this way so that I was cutting it upside down. And then I added the paper on the back. So this lace is actually cut right from the card base. I forgot to tell you that. And it's backed with Designer Series paper. And then this was the first one that I did. So I took blending brushes on the pink. I did the pink bubble bath. And I did bubble bath ink. And I did an ombre effect all the way up the card. So it's a little bit darker at the bottom than at the top. Yeah, I'm having so much fun with this technique. Okay, let's trim this up. Now I'm going to use my guillotine again because I want to be able to see how I'm cutting this, and I don't want to run my blade over the glimmer. So let's put this in here. And trim this up. There we go. Oh, I love that. And then we can mount it. Now we can mount it on the purple. Since I cut my two card bases in purple, I'm going to use purple. Look at that. Now we could also tie a bit of ribbon around here if we wanted to. I don't have any current, let's see, we have current purple ribbon? I don't think we do anything current. I've got lots of retired ribbon. What's our current white ribbon? We have a current white ribbon. Oh, here we've got this. This is, well, this ribbon here was left over from Christmas. It's got silver glitter on it. This might still be available. I haven't sorted my ribbons yet. I don't know. I don't think that does anything for it. Not sure about that. It would be nice to have a nice purple ribbon, but we don't have anything current purple, or I didn't buy anything current in purple. Purple. Nope, I don't. Okay. So I'm not quite sure how to finish this card. I'm going to do the same. I can't thank you enough. Oh, I was going to show you. So I could do this. I can't thank you enough. And I could even do a glimmer, where's my punch? Or is that too much glimmer? Or should I just do the purple? I don't have any cardstock here either, so I'll have to decide later. I'll finish this up later. I'll come up with something. I see pearls going on this in some fashion. We have these really nice iridescent pearls, which would look pretty on there. Some nice plain white ribbon. Don't we have a plain, help me ladies, don't we have a nice plain white ribbon current? I don't have it. Can't see it up there. Might have to pull out some old ribbon. Got lots of white ribbon, old ribbon. Okay, maybe glitter on glitter won't work. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so, but before I leave you, I want to show you how to stamp these stamps because they are so phenomenally great. So I'm going, now I usually start with the outside image first. So I'm going to do this in the darker, gorgeous grape. And after you've been doing blending with your blending brushes, you may have to re-ink your ink pads, okay? Because it does take a lot of, the blending brushes pull up a lot of ink. Okay, so there's my outline image. Oh, and I've got ink on my thumb. And then I'm going to use my lighter color. Now, if you don't have a lighter color, you could do the darker color. You could, ink it up. I'll do it. Ink it up and do what we call second generation stamping. So you're going to stamp it off and then you're going to stamp it on. And there you go. There's your image. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so that's how you use those stamps. So I could actually, for this card, I could cut this out. I've got a die for that and put it right here. I might do that. That would be really pretty. Add some flowers on here. Okay. Is that all I had to tell you? I think that's all I had to show you today. So I hope you will give, I don't know if any of you had this set. You might want to think about getting it because it's just, and summer's coming, weddings, wouldn't this make a fabulous wedding card? Any one of these would make a beautiful, beautiful wedding card. I'm just so impressed. And to be honest with you, when I got this set, I didn't use this die. I think I used it once. I cut it out once. Now remember that trick that when you go to cut this out, the die with the cut edge has to face up. And then you're going to put the paper on top and run it through on an angle. That's really key. Okay. Might need to check your stash. Yeah. Because it's pretty stunning. All right, ladies. Thank you so much for where here. Okay. Okay. Erica, remember to go back here. Here we go. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I will post all the pictures and I will do a link to a shopping cart. So it give you a list of all the give you a list of all the products that I use. I'm just reading Judy. White wrinkle seam ribbon and color with blends. Yes, good idea. The ribbon carried over, so hopefully it's available. Which ribbon is that? I'll check. I'll go online and check the ribbons. The white seam binding ribbon. Do you know what? I don't think I have any of that left. I don't see it up there, but that's a good choice, Judy. I can see I've got 3 berry burst ribbons. They're retired, but I've got 3 of those rolled. Oh, hang on. This white wrinkle ribbon, it's on my retired shelf, so I think it might be retired. 151326. I'll have to look that up, but that would be, I'm going to keep that out. I might use that, even though it's retired. I think we should be using up our retired ribbons. I can't keep buying, because otherwise you end up, like I've got 3 berry pinks up there, and I've got 3 Lost Lagoon ribbons. They're all retired, and I've got 4 reds up there. So I got to stop buying ribbon and buy other stuff. Yeah, look at all that. Anyway, thanks again. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you Thursday night. I'm hoping to come live on Thursday night, although I'm usually a last minute person for prepping, and I'm going away this weekend for a crafting event. So I may or may not come on live. I'll notify people that I'm coming on live. Otherwise, I will see you Monday morning. Will be the next one. So thanks again, you guys. Bye for now.